Now to our top story tonight on Unfiltered. A Michigan man recently traveled thousands of miles all across the country in a canoe. It's a journey of a lifetime in the making that's had a helping hand from Mary Freebed. Josh Berry has our story.
Nate D'Onofrio has just returned from a trip of a lifetime.
We started in Minnesota in the beginning of May in a snowstorm and finished right after 2 hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico, 109 days later.
He canoed the length of the Mississippi River, along with his wife Krista and their dog. Stretches of the voyage were smooth sailing, but those lengths were outnumbered by the challenges, the storms he mentioned, the scorching sun that clearly left its mark by the end in the south, to the isolating start up north.
It's remote, and being from the Upper Peninsula, I'm used to the nature and the woods, but this was a little bit of a test for me.
A test for anyone. An epic quest for a man who has no legs, when at times he'd have to get out and push.
I have to get out, get my prosthetics on, get them adjusted. But if there's lots of mud, I can't wear prosthetics because a lot of times I'd go to take a step and my prosthetic would be in the mud like a foot behind me. So I used to have to adjust my surface weight and crawl.
Nate lost his legs at birth, a double amputee from just above the knee. He has lived his life like this. Suddenly, the thought of staring down the length of the Mississippi becomes less daunting.
Amputations absolutely held you back. I mean, it takes us sometimes, 25 minutes, a half an hour to do a 5-minute job. I mean, not having a body part's one thing, but for your mind to catch up with it, to adapt is another. So it's always a struggle, in my opinion.
One consistent throughout a life of challenges for this Youper has been in Grand Rapids since he was 9.5 months old.
Made my trip down here for the first time to Mary Freebed and got my first pair of prosthetics and been here ever since.
Nate has walked his way through countless prosthetics over the years. Considering his adventures, you can see why.
Every foot he's ever had has been destroyed, so that's kind of been the number one goal of, okay, what can I provide him that will hopefully last him a little bit longer than what he's had in the past.
This time, the team at Mary Freebed hopes it's different, and we have a behind-the-scenes look at the fabrication process of Nate's new and improved prosthetics, which can all happen down the hall in the same building.
That's pretty rare. To have therapy and the whole hospital here is rare.
From the initial fittings to the casting and the grinding to the design selected by Nate himself.
Our technicians will transfer the alignment, laminate everything, and then finish everything up, smooth, make sure everything's smooth, give it back to us, and we're going to delivery.
To the moment of truth.
Hopefully everything fits well and they're walking out happy.
They call it delivery day, when Nate can hop off the chair ready to tackle the next adventure, though his adventure buddy might have other ideas.
We can start with helping go downstairs and do the laundry, even stuff like that.
Krista has seen her husband's determination firsthand, and while the prosthetics help, his mindset has set the tone.
He's one of those people who can come up with a plan and figure out how to attain it and then do it. And that's something that you don't see very often.
Meanwhile, a lot of us who have all of our limbs and haven't lived half the struggle have only lived half the life. I'm wondering where that drive comes from.
I don't know. I think that comes from inside. I don't know. Maybe it's learned. Maybe it could be led by example. I don't know. But for me, it definitely comes from inside.
With possibly a little extra bounce in his step from Mary Freebed. In Grand Rapids, I'm Josh Berry.
Nate and his wife Krista plan to canoe the Missouri River next. Krista plans to put their travels in a book titled Love Many, Trust Few, but Always Paddle Your Own Canoe. It's clever.